Well, one man who's no stranger to Speedway, particularly this venue, is new Managing Director of Sydney Speedway and also Speedway Australia board member, Stephen Green. Stephen, thank you so much for your time. There's some really exciting ongoings here at Sydney Speedway. Why don't you start to tell us about the plans you've got in store and what's already underway, because it is it's fantastic to hear.
Yeah, sure, Drury. Look, Barry Waldron was asked back in January whether he would look at taking over the venue, and Barry asked me to manage the venue for him. So Barry formed a company by the name of Made to Go, and Made to Go has now purchased Sydney Speedway Proprietary Limited from the former owners. We're set about trying to rejuvenate Speedway in Sydney and bring a lot of ideas to the table that we've had for many years. We all know that Speedway's probably been left behind a little bit compared with other sporting venues. So when Barry asked me whether I'd come back, we had a chat about things, and we had a number of ideas that we wanted to bring to fruition, and Barry's allowed me the finances to get that up and running.
And I understand you've spent close to $2 million and counting on these upgrades. And tell us about one of the more interesting upgrades, and probably the more expensive, but the data that will now be available during racing.
Yeah, look, you know, obviously when you've got cameras that are capturing all the footage, you want to make sure that you've got that information available to you so that you can replay and bring that information to the fans. So we've worked very hard on making sure that we've put in 5 kilometres of fibre optic cable so the data gets carried around the venue. We've put in a 20 gigabyte internet connection, so we've got state-of-the-art fastest internet connection we could get. And we've got 2 100 terabyte hard drives that capture all that information. So we can capture probably 2 seasons worth of footage just on one of them hard drives alone. So we're never going to have a problem with being able to have that information and be able to use it in the future. So we want to be able to do all sorts of replays. We want to be able to do stories on the drivers. We want to bring that personal aspect of the teams and the drivers to the industry. So I think we're in a good position to do that.
Obviously a lot of money has been spent, no doubt, from Barry Waldron and yourself, of course, back at Sydney Speedway to oversee everything. What were the main motivating factors for you to come back here, Stephen, and to get Sydney Speedway going again?
Well, you know, I guess the motivating factor is we love the sport. You know, I've been involved in the sport since I was a kid. My family's involved. Both my brothers, one of my brothers races, Trevor, and my younger brother Daryl is Max Dumsney's crew chief. He's better known as Mouse, probably, for the fans out there. And so, you know, that we love the sport. There's so many friends within the sport, and it really, the sport, the competitors have been doing a fantastic job for many years, and they've improved all, you know, their trucks, their trailers, their cars, their professionalism, the way they dress, the way they handle themselves. And I guess on the promotion side of things, it's been tough for the promoters over the years because there's so much competition out there nowadays that it gets harder. But we knew we needed to invest heavily to improve the facility and bring it up to the modern era. Every major sporting venue in this country has a big screen, is able to replay, has good commentary teams, and is able to get that information out to the fans. And I knew we needed to do that. So when Barry asked me whether I'd come back and run the facility for him, you know, it was probably a rhetorical question, but I said to Barry, are you prepared to do what we need to do? And I knew the answer was yes, but I still had to ask the question. And you know, I said to Barry, I think we have to spend probably $1 million each year for the first 2 years, and Barry committed to that. He's gone way above what I expected. He's exceeded my expectations, and we've, you know, already spent $2 million just trying to tidy the place up and bring to the fans what's needed. The great thing about it is everybody's appreciating it around the place. We're getting, you know, multitudes of support. People are really happy to be coming back to the Speedway, and there's a great vibe here in Sydney at the moment.